Hello, 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 everybody. So sorry, we would be a little late. I hope everybody is good. Sab kaise hai? So today we would be talking on Newcastle versus Sunderland derby match. What Newcastle lost yesterday was not a like. It doesn't feel like a derby match at all for me because it was. I had a lot of expectation with it. It was a match after a decade, and it didn't feel that way, especially with the Newcastle. It's it was feeling like they didn't took it seriously. They didn't show up. So people, and as a Newcastle fan, I would say we are as a club. It's okay to lose, but not okay to lose without trying. I would say so. We are already little late. I know, and forgive the guest would be coming soon anytime. Uh, because it's just time mismanagement. So sorry, forget. So sorry about that. And let's see where they are heading now. Let me just ping them. But anyways, um, so today discussions would be uh, regarding the match from yesterday. Also, we would talk a little bit about the Fulham match. But today stream is it's not about me or as a Newcastle fan. It's about a native fan from Newcastle, a guy from Newcastle. They would be soon here. It's just a time mismanagement. So sorry about that. So they would be joining soon. I have already sent them link. So until if you're watching it, please like the stream and subscribe the channel if you have not. And I'm just waiting on the guests to come because it was just a time mismanagement. So and hit me up with the questions if you have any question, please send me the questions. I would be happy to address until they come. And yeah. we- so yeah, please hit me with the questions. Don't worry, and I would be happy to help. Yeah, as and I apologize a lot. uh, Either I have to wait. I couldn't. I just started the stream and there was a time mismanagement from the guest side, but it's okay. He would be joining soon anytime. So for him, in his introduction, he's a native from Newcastle, a Newcastle fan, but an Indian roots origin guy. His name is Raul Kohli, and he's a stand-up comedian. You can watch on Instagram his page Raul Kohli comic. So yeah, I'm just seeing with the message if it's working or not. Yeah, and please, uh, until that time, you can set up the question and please like the stream if you have not. Okay, let me check what's happening around. Crab Derby. Yes, केवी भाई. I would say जो कल बात अपनों ने की थी, what I was feeling before the game started, Eddie Howe was not looking to win that match. He was looking if he would be happy with the sharing points. At the end, it was like so lethargic. They didn't try. They were sitting back, and it's okay to lose, but it's not okay to lose without trying. This is what I would say. It felt like they didn't try in first half. It was so bad, one of the worst performance of the season from Newcastle. In second half, Bruno had two shots until I would say 60 minutes. Newcastle didn't have a shot on target even, and Sunderland was all over the pitch, cruising around, had this plenty of space. Like Granit Xhaka, he had a plenty of space. Like he was just flipping pass around here and there, like acres of space around him. Yeah, camera down. Sorry, I just put it too high. Is it okay now? Yeah, and sorry, and there's a little mismanagement. It was regarding UK time, and they couldn't. They let me see what's happening. Let me check what's. So yeah, Sunderland was cruising around the game like they. It was like feeling like the Newcastle was sitting back doing nothing, and they and I would say by half time the shot didn't connect. Otherwise, Sunderland would have been punished as big time. We could have been 3-0. We could have been 3-0 by the half time. The kind of crosses they were putting in and the way they were connecting. I'm using StreamYard, and let me see if I can do that. I'm using StreamYard, so I don't know. Let me see if I can do it in this. I don't know if you're serious about it. What I would say, the team had a better quality than Sunderland, but yet at the end, the scoreboard doesn't lie. Sunderland is way more better team this year, and they are playing with more better passion, I would say, and that's why they are ahead of us or ahead of many good teams too. The tally or scoreboard never lies. I would say this year it's a like hot and cold season. It's like way terrific season. Like it's not expected what like in last 2 to 3 years, what is the build up around the team, right? It was not expected how the Newcastle would go, especially the signing. What you was talking, like the signings were not just was also not okay. Okay, there was a pressure they couldn't handle it. But one thing I would say, like when you don't have a proper support sporting director, so manager have a more better chance to handpick the players. He could have handpicked the better players. So Alanga is his signing. I Time would tell if he would turn up way more better now or not. But Elanga was Eddie Howe signing. All the signing of the summer transfer window is the signing of Eddie Howe because they were not a there were many vacant position. So the all the signings were handpicked by Eddie Howe. This is what I would say. So he cannot make an excuse. I didn't got my signing. He got the signings what he want. So if the team is still performing thin, I know the bench strength is still thin, but this is what it is. You have if you have to become a giant or as a big team, you have to play 3 or 2 matches in a week, in the span of a week, and you have to fight with the full intensity. You cannot make an excuse. All the big This is how you grow. All the big six teams or any other bigger club of the other leagues are, this is what they do, right? They play with the fatigue, they get the results, sometimes not, but they cannot let off. What's that? It's 10. So sorry, guys. I'm still waiting on them. I don't know what's going wrong, and until that time, what? So sorry. Hi, dressing room, Rishabh. Thanks a lot for connecting. And hello, hi. Good afternoon.
Hello, Kiale, Bunny lad. How are you?
I'm good. How are you? How are you? What's up? What's up? How's your afternoon? Monday
I
blues.
apologize for being late. I have been better. I am a little bit hungover and, of course, miserable because a city 45 minutes south of me. Well, let me tell you, um, siblings must have made the best love yesterday.
Uh, just a moment. Yeah. So it's okay. It's fine because the for me it was a timing issues too. Like I was working night now. I just came home. I was setting up stuff and it's okay. So, anyways, how was your weekend?
It was intense. It was really good. So I don't know if you know about trade. I'm a comedian, so I had
Yeah.
a lot of shows this weekend. I had 4 on Saturday,
Oh,
3
okay.
on Friday, 2 on Thursday, 1 on Wednesday, and I was also helping the MC babysit her child. So when she would go on stage, I'd be sat to looking after the baby. I taught lots of anti-Sunderland songs that the baby genuinely really enjoyed. You can see that on my Instagram story. I
Yeah.
sang "Could Have Been Born a Mackham" to the baby, and I don't know why, but the baby loved it. It absolutely loved it. It would always giggle when I would sing that song. And then, of course, yesterday we had the derby, and then on top of that, I had my solo show. I did the last ever showing of Raul Britannia at the Frog and Bucket, my award-nominated Edinburgh Fringe show. And then I treated myself to a few drinks after because I was so distraught about the results. How was your weekend?
It was good. It was good, but it could have been way more better if we would have picked up the results yesterday. But unfortunately, it didn't
It
happen.
was such a freak goal. Such a freak goal.
Yeah, and I don't know if you watched the full game, but I was just telling the people like I feel the team didn't show up to. It's okay to lose, but they didn't show up to play even. I guess it was only Dan, but I would say he was showing some intensity. He was riling up the team. Let's go, let's go. I think he's a local lad, so Derby means to him. But other players
Yeah,
didn't
he
show up.
understands. For sure. I mean, he understands. I think Hall showed up as well, personally. That's just my
Yeah,
opinion. I think Hall showed up as
I-
well. I don't think anybody else showed up. I think you're
and
correct.
Malik Tiao would have had a good game too. Malik Tiao.
Yeah, actually, yeah, and you can see like by his face, he looked like he was celebrating Halloween. He was like covered in white paint from the chalk.
Yeah.
But Byrne, like, I mean, he broke his ribs for the game. I think that says everything. But Byrne understands. I mean, I don't know if you recall that Champions League, not Champions League, Carabao Cup final, the one we lost, unfortunately. But Dan Byrne's dad wrote him a letter about when he used to be a fan. They used to draw straws for the big games, and the big games were Champions League. Him and his brother, and Sunderland. So Dan Byrne knew exactly what yesterday meant. But you say, it's all right to lose as long as you try. I think any other game, yeah, but yesterday's
Yeah, you cannot lose the Sunderland, especially, and it's happening after a decade, right? So I was thinking what I was thinking before the game because I don't know in Sunderland if there are any native players from Sunderland. But in Newcastle, there are a couple of players who have been born in Newcastle. Dan and Louis Smiley, I think, is a
Yeah,
Newcastle.
Louis Smiley, yeah.
So, so I was thinking Newcastle has a more experienced team, better, and have a would turn up with more passion, but it was other way around for me, I guess. And what I was observing more, the Sunderland was not get overwhelmed by this match. They were trying to not give more importance to Newcastle, because moment if they show it's a derby match, we were talking with the guest on yesterday's stream. If it would be, they were giving more importance to. If I don't know if you would remember the scorecard, it was Sunderland 1-0 visitors. It neither Newcastle logo and Newcastle name. So they were trying to minimize, and so player doesn't get overwhelmed and rile up in the
No, I mean
Robert.
that's pretty. I mean that's. I wouldn't say that. That's definitely they would put the badge up if it wasn't us. They just put visitors, and to be honest, I respect that. I respect that. That's. I think they just gave. Can I swear on this podcast?
Yeah, 100%. Whatever you want.
They gave more of a fuck by Sab. Like they just like from the start of the week they were putting out videos, and it looked a bit Tim Pot. Yeah, sliding tackle compilations. But like they gave a shit. They were putting out videos. This is our city. This is weird side. They just were putting stuff out there. They gave a shit. And when you saw on the pitch, I felt they gave a shit. That every second ball was theirs. They were trying for it. And you can chalk some of that down to tiredness. We was in that last game. We was really, really, really going for it against Leverkusen on the Wednesday, and that didn't help. I still think, all things considered, we played all right. Defensively, we were absolutely solid. And then there was just this moment of madness.
Yeah.
One that we've not come to expect from Nick Waltemare. And I don't know to what extent the media giving him or questioning and like putting him under pressure about his sexual orientation might have contributed to that. To me, whether he's cheating on his wife, whether he's gay, I don't care. Let him live his life in peace. And I think Newcastle, I think the media, we need to get a lid on that. We need to get that under control, which I don't think it helps the players. And that was the biggest game of the year, as far as I'm concerned. At least I am born and raised in Newcastle. I was growing up. This is like India-Pakistan levels of beef, brother.
Yeah. So
just growing up with it.
Yeah, this is why I want to talk about this game with you, because at the derby, which is happening after almost a decade, you could sum up more better what was the feeling before the game and now. So if you want to say something, you like as a fan from City itself, with this derby loss rank emotionally to you?
It's devastating, bro. I'm thankful. Strangely, as I had a ticket, I had to give up the ticket to do my solo show because it sold quite well in the end. And obviously, your job is your job. That comes first. You got to keep a roof over your head. And I'm thankful that I was in Manchester, and I still am in Manchester. But I've got to drive back. And the Great Unwashed, a lot of them live our side. I've been talking to a few of them on social media. I've got friends. There's people I went to school with. There's people I've worked with. But they're all. A lot of them are in Newcastle. They'll be around where I live, and I have to go look them in the eye and deal with them face to face. For me, you have to bear in mind, growing up as a Newcastle fan, it was never always as good. It was never Carabao Cups. I mean, we'd have these stints in the Champions League, but it wasn't regular. This was always our cup final growing up. Like as a child, this is what it meant. Like my best friends growing up, where I had a couple of Mackhams in my circle, and it was always tense. And it was always, that was the big one. And, I've converted a few fair weather footballer fans, like people who were, fair weather Villa fans, fair weather Cheltenham fans. They're diehard Newcastle fans now because I brought them up for Derby Day. And that was when we lost. Unfortunately, I went the 5-1 in the Gallagher end in 2010. And that was belter. And then I started taking them up from university. And that is unfortunately where we started to lose 6 in a row. But the first one in 10 years, I mean, it's such an odd one because those 6 in a row, you look back on it and it's almost like, I think it bit the Mackhams in the arse. I think the Mackhams they're always in our shadow. Even after 6 in a row, even after when they're always in our shadow. They don't win a Carabao Cup. They're not in Champions League regularly. They've got the guy from Marseille, some child who owns them, but they haven't got like big, serious business entities that are interested. And they are always in our shadow. And because of that, because of them winning, because they treat that so highly, the 6 in a row. That's why they got relegated for so long, because they were never they never thought about being a good football club. They just thought about being a better club than Newcastle. That is genuinely what went wrong at that club, and that's why they went down for so long. But it's still important for us. It's that regional title is, for me, one of the most important. It's as important as champion. I might be mental for saying that, but football's an emotional game, and that's how my emotions feel. Beating them is as important as Champions League, as important as Carabao Cup. And I think it reflected for me a lack of understanding from the players. I've seen Anthony Gordon tweet, "We'll put things right on Wednesday." You can't. You'll put things right in April, and you best run over them at St. James's. I'm talking 1-2-0. You best run over them. That's when you put things right. You won't put things right against Fulham in the Carabao Cup semi-final. I don't care.
Yeah, because the match yesterday was the match to show up and show what it was. Most of the time, it was playing for the badge. It was playing for the badge. What team means to you, you have to show that sort, and just showing.
It's not just the badge as well. For me, it's like, I mean, if I ever never had the talent, but if I did miraculously, and I'm a Hindu, let's say I reincarnate and I'm a talented footballer. If I ever played on St. James's Park, if I ever played for any football club, if I scored, the celebration I do is I'd stop and I'd look at the faces of everybody in that crowd and just to see what it really means to people, that region. And this is the game that means everything, not just playing for the badge, it's playing for the people, playing for Newcastle United fans.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? Doing the exact opposite of what Isaac did. And apart from Bernard Hall, as I said earlier, not a single player turned up for the people of my city.
The thing what you just said that last time. I used to watch a football. Just I can give you a background. I used to watch a football international. I have no club to follow. Because I couldn't connect to any club. So because I come from India, right? So Indian football is not so that great. So internationally, if you watch, I couldn't connect with any club. So one of my cousins told me watch Premier League, not though, because I used to watch a Bundesliga once in a while. So I say I couldn't connect to any club. But why I choose a Newcastle? It was not the team; it was the fans which made me. I said, "Come on, this is the passion you should have for a team you want to follow." The passion when the PIF took over the 4 years ago. It was 4 years ago, right? 2021.
Yes, correct. Yeah, 2021.
So when the PIF took over, it was on the news, and I was watching the news, and I was watching some videos around. I said, "Come on, this is the passion. This must be a really lovely feeling if you're living in this city and you have a club of your own, in one of the best." So the fan base made me a fan of Newcastle. So what you were saying yesterday, you have to look for if you score a goal and look at the people faces and happiness. That is utter joy. It should be utter joy, right?
Yeah, it should be, not utter misery. And I think, maybe once upon a time when Sunderland had us in the lower tier, we're now in the upper tier when you're an away fan, but if they had us in the lower tier, maybe it might have helped. I don't know. Might be able to see the faces closer, clearer. But what I would say is, I mean, that was a mad day. And I think I've underappreciated it my whole life. I mean, I'm 34 now, and I'm starting to appreciate just how fortunate and how magnificent and how nuts Newcastle United and following Newcastle United are. But when I first went to uni, there were a couple of things that there were a few things that popped up in my head where I was like, I didn't realize this wasn't the case across the country. When you talk about the passion of Newcastle United fans, number one, I met a couple of Scousers there, right? Phil Crawley, good friend of mine from Liverpool. He was a Liverpool fan. And Thomas Maynard, who lived in the Wirral, just, sort of like Gateshead to Newcastle, let's say. That's the equivalent, through a tunnel just outside of Liverpool. He was an Everton fan. And in my head, I literally was like, oh, so you support Everton if you're from the Wirral, or you support Liverpool if you're from Liverpool. That's not the case at all. The Wirral's actually open to Tranmere Rovers, but there's plenty of reds and blues scattered around both Everton, around both Liverpool and the Wirral. It's got nothing to do with that divide. It's just a two-club city. Same with Manchester. I didn't realize how unique it was to be from a one club, one city. But as well, I just didn't realize how mental we were in terms of my friends said drinking with me was like drinking with a hobbit, because I'd always break into some sort of folk song, whether it be I'm coming home Newcastle. I wish I could have. I could have been born in Mackham. There's plenty of it's almost like you're in the Shire or whatever. Or I'm just bringing out all these songs, and they weren't used to that. They'd never met someone who's so proud of where they were from and had all these little folk songs and folk tales that were associated with it. But as well, they'd never seen any hatred as much as mine for Sunderland. And on top of that, my mate Phil, I remember him talking to me like, I love Geordies because like I just remember when, never mind the takeover, we've done this before. We always just sort of like crowd upon St James's Park. There was the time when Kevin Keegan sold Andy Cole. It was a bit before my time, but it's just a mad video of all these Newcastle fans just turning up at St James's Park demanding answers, and Kevin Keegan, to his credit, come out and give them answers just on this step of St James's Park. It's madness. But my mate Phil Scouser, he said, like, I just couldn't believe it when you signed Mike Lowen and like you flew him in a helicopter and you had like 30,000 fans at the stadium. And I was like, oh yeah, I remember that. That was a big day. I think we got the afternoon off school. And he was like, you people are mental. And I was just like, that was normal for me. That was absolutely normal. But it's these little things, these little cultural traits, these little stories. And to be fair to the club, I think since the takeover, I think they've kept these myths, these tales alive. And there's been lots of sort of, you know, they've addressed it. They've sort of like talked about these things. Whether it be that I was briefly in the Adidas commercial for the away kit a couple of years ago, and the reference to Frank Chipper tweet about Sean Longstaff going on his gap year, and I just thought that was brilliant. And there was another one where they started to like they put a projection up on the Baltic on the quayside. Which was a reference to when we played Monaco in the 1997, the Champions League, and it was a BMX for 42 quid. But then if you actually rang the number, obviously it wasn't a person selling a BMX when they projected it on the Baltic. It was a line, and it said, oh, you know, we're having a nice show at night. But I feel like PIF, I feel like Newcastle United missed an opportunity here. Wearside, they got up for it. Sunderland, they got up for it. They put out a lot of stuff. And you can't even argue, you can't even make the argument like Tin Pot Club. They've just done it for the derby. They want to be better than us. You can't make that argument because they're flying high. They're doing very well. I mean, I don't know how the hell, with all the PSR, they've managed to spend what they've spent, but they have. I don't know if that's going to come back to bite them in the arse in a couple of years' time. Maybe it will, maybe it won't. I'm not mathematically astute enough to say whether it will or it won't. I'm not statistical like that. I can't do them sums. But for now, they're flying high. They're challenging for Europe. They might get Champions League. We might never, ever, ever be able to sing. Have you ever seen a Markham in Milan? They've got smart people running that club, I'm afraid to say. And the derby, seriously, from day one, they were putting out those videos of getting people up for it. And you know what? They might have been celebrating a paedophile scoring goals against us. They might have even asked a murderer, a drunk driving killer, what his opinions were in Marcus Alonso. But they got up for it. And we did not. We just treated it like any other game. We didn't take it as seriously as it is, and we can say, our Champions League on the Wednesday, the Carabao Cup on the Tuesday, on the next Wednesday, sorry. But that was an important game to the city, and we dropped the ball. I mean, to be honest, 0-0, I probably would have taken away at Sunderland with their form. And again, I do think we defended well. I don't think we created any chances, and that needs to be looked
just
at.
Just the 2 shots. It was just the 2 shots. The Bruno took the 2 nice shots, and other than that, there was nothing. It was nothing.
That's it. I would actually take that back when I said it wasn't just Hall and Burn who had a good game. I felt like Bruno gave a shit as well. I felt like Bruno had a decent enough game where he tried stuff. The rest of them have some serious questions to be asked and have to look at themselves in the mirror. And again, as I say, this isn't rectified till March. This isn't rectified till April. We can compartmentalise this and focus on Wednesday, but you ain't making this up on Wednesday. You're not making it up next Saturday. No. You make it up in April and you 100%. Run over them. That's the only way.
So we are playing on St. James Park on the reverse fixture on April, right? This is because I don't know when we're doing it. I hope we turn up better this time because it's home, and this year, you know, this is the story of the season. There's just one win away. That's all. This is something which has to be looked over. It cannot be looked because the Everton win it was 4-1, right? Rest we are not doing anything nice. When we
Everton was the only time it seemed like we clicked the way we're, you know what I mean? Like a couple of seasons ago when we really clicked, there was a lot of those, a lot of 4-0s, 3-0s, 4-1s, whatever. But it's just been such a weird season. Every week feels like it started with like defensive solidity, but no chances. Then we had that game and we had a few narrow wins, but it's all just a bit too tight. It's all just a bit too tight. I think we need stronger psychology in the last 10, 20 minutes. I think we need a better, bigger squad. And I think I would never say Eddie Howe out. I think you're mental if you're saying that. I think he's still
100%.
Managers, one of the greatest coaches, definitely one of the greatest English managers and coaches of all time. He's turned certain players into world beaters. But I would say, I don't say this lightly, but I would say how out of the recruitment. I think he needs to let recruitment go. I think he needs to let other people at the club manage that. I think looking at our players, Barnes is great for my Gordon. I've sang his praises for ages, but I think Gordon has actually had, unless he comes very good this season, he's had one good season in amongst about 3 seasons now. Do you know what I mean?
Seasons. I think he was
Gordon is so good. Alanga, big question marks over that. How much was spent? Yeah. Wisser, I think, is you can't control Wisser. That's unfortunate. Walter Marder's really good.
God, I think the best for me, the best signing of the season. For me, the best. So sorry, go on. I was just saying about the signing. For me, the best signing is Malik Chow. As of
Malik Chow, yeah.
It's the best,
but I don't know. I don't know to what extent. I mean, I'm not party to this backstage, obviously, right? I don't have any sort of links with the club per se. I don't know who signed who. Like
this year,
I think overarchingly, our recruitment hasn't been great, and I think Eddie Howe's in charge of that, and I think he kind of wants players with a good, at least from what he looks like, he wants players who speak very good English. Usually gets English players, but he does like a Swede. And I think that's maybe because in terms of his man management, talking to them, it might be a bit easier for him. But I think he needs to let go of that, or maybe brush up on his Italian or Spanish or German, or get a translator in or something.
Yeah.
But I think he needs to bring that man management he's got with Jacob Murphy and with these English players. But I think he needs to let go of recruitment. I don't know. I just don't think our recruitment has been what it needs to be. I think for the richest club in the world, and for the fact that we weren't constrained by PSR this season, I think our recruitment could have been more efficient.
So specifically on this point, I would say this summer, Eddie Howe had the golden chance because we didn't have we had a vacant position for recruitment team. So most of the players who had handpicked by Eddie Howe. So Elanga is a signing of Eddie Howe. So these are the times manager craves. Because the manager can handpick the player and there's nobody to question out. So Eddie Howe had the golden chance to pick the players he want. And I think I'm not blaming him. I think he went for the players he want, but I would say we were sabotaged many times with the other big 6 clubs, Ekitike, Sheshko, and also because I don't know what's the narrative in England. Because I don't know what's the narrative. I feel the other big 6, they don't want other rise like a Man City because they know the pockets are full for the Newcastle, right? So they don't want a new rise like a Man City. So whenever Newcastle eye and a player, even the club doesn't need the player enough, they go for that player. I don't know if it's
absolutely
how you see that.
I think it's a really interesting dynamic, and as someone who's followed the club through thick and thin, and particularly has been quite intensely tied into the club the past 2 years with like our podcasts and sort of media work I've done. I think it's really interesting because I think, it's exactly where we are, but it's different. Like in the women's division, like they want us to rise because we bring more eyes to women's football. It's very interesting. I think they changed the rules, and that's why Blessed Cotton Socks Husher did so much for the club, and she's a hero to me. Becky Langley went in there because they changed all the rules. It was like last year from the 2nd division to the 1st division, there was only 1 club that go up. Now it's like 4 clubs that go up. And they changed the rules to try and help Newcastle go up because they know Newcastle bring a certain passion and a certain fan base to women's football that generally will make women's football cooler, more passionate, more lucrative. But in the man, I mean, you'd think that would be the case in the men's football as well. But it's a bit of the market, the world has changed where, they're not really like English football isn't for people who live in England anymore. It is more for, you're based in Canada, that's correct?
Yeah, I know, yeah.
So they are looking to appeal to India, China, Canada, America, because that's over half the world's population. Do you know what I mean? That is who football is for nowadays. And a lot of those places, fans in those places tend to support the most successful clubs. Do you know what I mean? Because the most successful clubs that's how they get, connected to them. That's who they're going to see more often. Do you know what I mean? They're not going to have any particular random association with Burnley. But that's why I love following like random mags abroad like yourself, because if they have decided to follow our club, it's usually because of the passion. It's definitely not because of the success. And there's always some weird side story. Like there's Washi, the Japanese fan, who fell in love with Newcastle United because he saw Pardew headbutt David Myler, and that's just hilarious. That's objectively hilarious. But this is who football is for, and this is who the FA are trying to keep sweet because that is their biggest money makers. But what I would say is like they can't stop the inevitable because if the FA go to war with Saudi Arabia, I think Saudi Arabia are winning that. I think Saudi Arabia are winning that war, to be honest.
So this year, the coming season, they are making the changes. So one of the changes, I don't know, I have to read good enough about that. But as of the insiders, what I was reading, it's they have made the new rules, the PSR system. In the PSR system, I think they're going to call it FFP or something. I don't know if it's FFP as of now.
No, PSR was like the same as FFP. I think they
Okay,
changed it to
it's
like squad cost ratio or something. Or squad.
Oh yeah,
it's like
squad
squad
cost
cost
rate.
ratio.
Yeah. So now the academy graduates would not be 100% profit as of now. Now, let's say when we sold Elliot Anderson, it was 100% profit to the club. So
I
this
think
would
that's
not
shocking.
be that would not be a case anymore in the new system. I could be wrong, but this is what I read here and there. So now your academy graduate sales would not be 100% sales profit.
Yeah, and I think that's a good thing because I just don't think that's how football should work. I don't think you should be raising a local lad who's a diehard fan, and this is for any club, whether it's Newcastle, whether it's City, whether it's Burnley, whether it's Fulham, whether it's a Birdian in Scotland. I don't care, but I don't think you should be raising a local lad who is part of the system, who loves the club, who's from the area, and then be encouraged or incentivized to sell a local lad and bring in some sort of foreign diamond. I think clubs should be encouraged and incentivized to build a mad economy and keep hold of all of their youth players. And so anything that allows or aids that, I'm a fan of. I'm a supporter of.
Yeah, because this PSR system is not like the same thing what I said and what you said. That there's also a point what you said like how Eddie Howe has to look beyond the English players. So now it is happening. Now the pipeline for the Latin American players would be unlocked soon because the Ross Wilson, so the guy we hired from the Nottingham Forest, he had. The scout he had a good connection. He brought in the same guy. He's setting up in the Brazil, Ecuador, and Colombia. He's the same guy who signed Murillo and Danilo.
Oh, wow. So that's what you'd hope. Because I don't know if you know, but Newcastle brought the first Brazilian player to the Premier League in Mirandinha.
No, I didn't know because as I'd given you a reference, I didn't have any club to follow. I just started following when the PIF was taking over. So since then, I'm trying to build on what's in one. But specifically this year is the day I'm feeling day in and day out trying to read what's happening around. So I'm whenever I get the chance, I go back. So I don't know if this player you are talking way back when you was kid or
This is even before my time. This is like the 60s, 70s. But like I'm well
okay.
aware that you might not have that history. And even I didn't know
Yeah.
about it until it was until I started doing stand-up comedy. And I would drive around like older comedians from Newcastle, and they would give me just these wild history lessons about Newcastle United from the 70s, 60s, 80s. It's way before my time, but I'm a history buff. I love it. I love it. So, find out we had the first Brazilian player in Mirandinha. I think we had one of the first black players, maybe not the first, but one of the first black players in British football in Howard Gale. But as well, just all these wonderful little like stories. And they tell me about Harry Palmer and his mad songs. I don't know if you've ever seen one of the Slap Your Missus with a Christmas tree stickers or know why that, but it's just a ridiculous song that came out by Harry Palmer that became a chant by the Geordie boys. We are here. Whoa, whoa. Smack Your Missus with a Christmas tree. And nobody really knows why he put that in there, but everybody just started to sing it. But I'm mad into the history of Newcastle United. For me, it's really fascinating.
Just a second. I would like to because just can I take just 30 seconds? I just want to answer a question here, just because I have something on the phone.
No problem. Go
Just
ahead.
just 30 seconds. Just 30 seconds. And meanwhile, I do it. So you would be driving back to Newcastle?
Yes, after this, I'm going to have a shower. I've been staying with a friend and I own some coffee pods. So I'm going to go get those coffee pods, have a shower, and then I am going to drive back to Newcastle.
How long is the drive? Like, how long does it take to?
Good 3 hour, 2 hours, and no, I think it's 3 hours. 3 hours, just about 3 hours. Yeah.
Okay, so it's not. So it could be maybe 250 kilometers something, 250 to 300 kilometers.
Is it about that? Yeah, I don't know actually. I've no idea. I'm gonna check this out now. Give me a second. Newcastle, how many miles exactly is that? Let me put in my exact home address. It's not far from St. James's. 3 hours, 27 minutes, 149 miles. So obviously we do miles in Britain.
Okay,
I
so
don't
you
know what that.
okay? Oh yeah, because in India, even in Canada, we follow the kilometers. Miles is in the south, down south, US.
It's just us and the Yanks who do miles, really. But yeah, it's 149 miles. I don't know what I can try.
Yeah,
I can
it would
translate it miles
maybe
to
to
kilometers.
20 to 30 kilometers.
Miles to kilometers. 149. Yes, 240 kilometers. You weren't wrong.
So yeah, more or less.
10 kilometers off. Good maths from you.
No, I just because try to say so a mile would be 1.4 or 1.5 times, so more or less just get an idea.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's nice. I'm definitely trying my best to visit St James Park next year. So yeah, hopefully
Let
I
me know when
can.
you're over. I'll take care of you. I'll give you a little bit of a history tour around the city, show you some of the things we need to see. Try to help you. I'll get you trying brown ale, sausage rolls. Obviously, the traditional British dish that is the chicken tikka masala. I'll show you a few-
the, the national dish, right?
the national dish, brother, invented in Birmingham, Leicester, or Glasgow, depending on who you listen to. But I will. Yeah, bro. If you come down, if I'm not there, I'll have some friends look after you and show you the city for sure,
Yeah,
brother.
thank you so much. And anyways, the same thing. I don't know if you're coming here for the next year. If you have any chance for the FIFA World Cup, by
Oh,
any way.
yes, I forgot about the World Cup, but I need
Yeah,
to get to Canada. My cousin is in Brampton. I don't know if you've been to Brampton,
yeah, I have
but
been
it's
to Brampton. Yeah, I have
it's
been to
like
Brampton. It's a
a
brown town.
brown town. Yeah, bro. I've always said I've seen more brown people and more turbans in Brampton than I've seen in any other place in my life, and I've been to India 3 times. Like I've been to Punjab, there were more
Yeah.
turbans and more brown people in Brampton than there was in
Brampton, yeah,
Punjab.
100%, 100%. So yeah, but it's a fascinating stuff. Like, I just to be just in a reference, I just started 2 months ago because when I started watching Newcastle this year, it was this year you could say day in day out. I was watching insiders, what's happening around the Isak saga made me more sympathetic to Newcastle. I said this is not good. This is not going good, right? So I was trying to see what's happening, and I was okay. I like this club, so I would watch this more now. So the Isak saga made me a fan of Newcastle more,
That's
and
crazy.
then I tried to look for the people who speak show up for the Newcastle from India. There was none, so I said, okay, this is not good. So I have to, whenever I get time, I would just start doing it. And fortunately, I just created a page that day. I think you just like something, and I was happy. I thought you was from India. Then saw your son. I saw your the Edinburgh the show the some specific part from the reel. He was wearing the Newcastle goalkeeper jersey, right? The pink jersey.
Yes,
Yeah, so I like that
the
part,
pink one.
and that
I do like that pink kit.
yeah. So I think it's just a year or 2 years away the back from. So, anyways,
Yeah. No, I mean,
um,
so two things on that. I mean, I've always styled myself, born and raised in Newcastle, as you know now. I've always styled myself, Kanisha, as the Newcastle Brown Male, which is a pun on the beer sponsor we used to have. But as well, like I went to India in 2023 when I was doing a podcast for the BBC about Newcastle United. And I kind of like went out to find, like, I've always made it a mission of mine to find foreign fans and be like, how did you get involved? So I've met the Netherlands Toon Army. I'm quite close in with them. I'm an official member, actually.
okay,
I've met the Perth and the Melbourne, the Perth and the Adelaide Toon Army, the Singapore Toon Army. Yeah, when I was in India, I interviewed one guy who was a Newcastle United fan because in India, like, they've got big Man United, like India, Malaysia, big Man United fan bases, big Man City. But in India, I think there's about 100. In a country of 1.5 billion, there
yeah.
is 100 Newcastle United fans.
I
That's
just
how
met
big
a
the Toon Army is.
Yeah, I've just met one guy more. Hopefully, if we connect more, we do this more. He's a fan from Newcastle, kind of OG fan, I would say, from 90s era, like of
In
obviously
India.
he's in India. So I would try to
Wow,
bring.
because even like trying to find Premier League in the 90s would have been a wild old time. Skipping through all manner of cable, Sky, Dodge. I don't even know what the hell was how you'd even get to that in India.
Yeah. So I would try to bring the guy, and hopefully, if we can match the timing. So you would
Yeah, that'd
find
be
it.
great, man. That'd be
Yeah,
great. And
yeah,
my mum
and
will be buzzing. She'll make you all the home cooked stuff. Sag paneer, the lot.
okay. So did you went to in India to the Punjab, or you went on all other parts of India?
I've been all around, man. So like my dad is from UK, by which I mean Uttarakhand, like Dehradun. So that's usually where I go. I head to Dehradun to see my dad's family there. I've got cousins there. I've got a cousin in Delhi as well, so usually in Delhi. But like that's usually where I go for family reasons, and that's usually like where I place myself. You know, that sort of mountainous region, Missouri, Rishikesh. But I
Yeah.
have like I did a 10-day tour of comedy clubs in India in 2018. I went to Delhi and then I went to Bombay for 3 days. I've also been to Goa for a wedding, and the last time I was there in 2023, I think we went up to Agra as well. Went to Taj Mahal as well. So I've been around the country, and yeah, I've been going to Goa and particularly Bombay made me realize just how big it is. Do you know what I mean? People say, "Do you speak Indian in the West?" They say, "Is there an Indian culture?" And I'm just kind of like, it took me going to Bombay and Goa to be like, no, like India's a very big country and it's very diverse. Do you know what I
Yeah.
mean? Like people from Bombay are nothing like people from Delhi. People from
Delhi.
Rajasthan are nothing like people from Goa. The first time I met like a Jamie D'Souza who was Indian, and I was like, "What the? What is going on?" And he was Catholic. I was like, "What is happening?" I didn't even realize like Portugal had colonized any of India, quite frankly.
Yeah.
And I also find like when I found that out, and like, for me, it was a bit of a history lesson. I thought it was hilarious. Because like, I thought it was so funny
So
that
Portuguese were the one of the first guys to land upon Indian shores.
yeah, well, I
So
mean, they
the,
invented colonialism and slavery. It's a joke
yeah.
I do now, but
Uh,
like you always forget it because Portugal's still broke. I
so,
don't know how they managed to take over half the known world, invent colonialism, invent slavery, and then you still ain't got no money. You still get nothing to show for it. Grow up, Portugal. Anyway, as well, like I just remember, like because the England national song is Vindaloo.
Vindaloo.
Yeah, it goes Vindaloo, Vindaloo, and we all eat Vindaloo. It's the national song
Okay.
for the football team. What makes me laugh is like Vindaloo's not even an English Indian curry. That's a Portuguese Indian curry. That's from the west side of India. That's from Goa.
Oh,
Like the wine
okay,
and
okay.
barley. So essentially, England's so multicultural. The curry we sing about is the Portuguese curry, which I think is just there's something in that. Like
Yeah.
it's not even English. It's an Indian dish, but it's not even the English Indian dish. Surely we should. And we all eat chicken tikka masala. Chicken. It doesn't quite fit to the lines as well, but that's what we should be singing about.
Just like we can come now on the game just because I was trying to it's interesting what you're trying to explain and the insights. So, how is the demographic position of in Newcastle from the Indian origin, or it's to in or let's say in the northeast area?
I mean, compare the rest of the United Kingdom, it was small growing up. I think we had one of the smaller. I mean, we did have a community, a Hindi Punjabi community, but it was small. I think it was comparatively compared to Leeds, compared to Bradford, compared to Manchester, compared to London, compared to Birmingham. Small, but it's there does seem to be a lot more Indians now, or at least kids with brown faces. I drove past like a school where I grew up next to. It's called Heaton Manor, and I saw like so many more brown kids coming out of that than I ever remembered in my day. So it's getting bigger, but it's definitely small, I think, comparatively speaking. But I don't know if you've ever read, like, there's a book called The Northumbrians. If you ever want to learn more about Newcastle or the Northeast generally and sort of what gives it such a unique sense of cultural heritage, you read this book. It's called the Northumbrians, and it's by Dan Jackson, great historian, a regular on the Rest is History podcast, which I'm sure some of your listeners will know about. It's a huge podcast. But the opening page of that, he says the Northeast is a bit like the Punjab of the United Kingdom
Okay.
because it is like a frontier zone. for 2,000 years, where Punjab has kind of fought off the Ottomans and the Persians. What this northeast, this Northumbrian zone has fought off is Romans, Vikings. Even
Vikings,
when
yeah,
the Normans landed, they fought off the Normans. They didn't want anything to do with the French. They were more Anglo-Saxon. And that's also where the accent differentials come from. Geordie is closer to Scandinavian and it's closer more so to ancient Germanic, whereas the southern sort of Queen's English you hear is actually more modern and it's to do with like the French. Like
yeah,
chicken, it's
100%.
poultry, it's poulet, like it's to do
Yeah.
with Norman French. So if you wanted to learn more about the Northeast, I'd say pick up that book. But it's probably why I just felt so at home, even though I was the son of two immigrants. But I just kind of was like, I think both Punjab and the Northeast are sort of warrior regions that like just a bunch of undiagnosed ADHD men. And that's kind of why they're so similar. And that's also why I also think alcohol problems are such a big thing in both regions.
Yeah, because yeah, I heard like I don't know. I just saw the videos. I don't know if it's from Newcastle or the other side of the river area. In the bar. I don't know if you saw the video. The people, many people were manhandled yesterday night. So I think bars were full of people manhandled.
What do you mean by manhandled? How would you define manhandled?
Uh, Let me see. Just a
Like, you mean
moment.
people were like physically
Physically, yeah,
manhandled?
yeah, and yeah, this is what I would say. So I don't know if
What,
you
like
have
they
a.
were attacked or they were like thrown out the bar because they were so drunk?
Yeah, they were thrown out big time. Yeah.
Oh yeah. That's Derby Day. It's a bank holiday. Do you know what I mean? That's what converted my friends who weren't football fans, particularly to be Newcastle fans. They'd come up and they were like, "What's going on? It's a Sunday afternoon and it's like a bank holiday. This place is insane."
Okay. So if we let's see. Who? Okay. So where do you see this year we would be finishing in the Premier League? What are your expectations?
Bro, it's kind of insane. Like we could finish third, we could finish 16th. Do you know what I mean? Like last year, this competition for spots between like fourth and like 17th is intense, man. It's up for grabs. Like West Ham are coming good.
Yeah.
But like the gaps between the clubs there, we could finish above or below Sunderland. Who knows? All it takes is like last year we had a big. It was around this time. Maybe Sunderland will do the same. A loss to a red and white team. We had a big loss against Brentford, and there was a bit of an inquisition. And from that inquisition, we went on that like massive 10, 11 game winning run.
10 in the streak. Yeah, we were on 9. It was 9, and I think yeah, it was 9 or 10 games. As far as I remember, it was after near to the winter transfer window, after Brentford. As exactly you say, we even every point of time, like if you compare what when even in October international break or in the international break from November, every time we see we are only 1 point behind or 2 point behind what we were last year. So it's like hot and cold, but it's not. They are not finding a right rhythm. It feels like they are just. It's about to start now, and then they just completely gas up.
Yeah, it does feel like a step forward and half a step back. That's kind of really where we seem to be. But I think a good run like that and things will change. I think a few things need to happen. I think we probably need to land a couple of signings in January, a couple of good signings from afar, a couple of gems that nobody knows about. I think in the long term, we're still on the right path. This is still like, it should have been 3 European seasons. Last year was just, or the year before was just kind of an anomaly. It was kind of crazy. Do you know what I mean? Manchester winning that FA Cup or that Carabao Cup against City. But otherwise, that'd be 3 European seasons in a row and a trophy. And that's like, if you look at things from the long-term perspective, when people say how out, I'm like, no, he still deserves at least 2 seasons for me. That's 3 European seasons. And with not much of a budget or not much backing. I think he should let go of recruitment. I think, we've given him full backing in the summer, it appears, and I don't think he's made the right choices. And I think anyone with eyes would probably say, with the money that we could have spent, and when you look at what Sunderland spent on, we could have spent better. I think if we get the right signings in January, if we go on a run, I don't think we ever should have sold Dubravka personally. I don't think we should have sold Dubravka and brought in Ramsdale. Maybe we thought we were going to get Trafford, but obviously that's not happening.
Yeah.
But I I think Dubravka was still probably our best keeper, and I think
Best keeper. I think
again
for this
Eddie's.
moment, he would be a better starting 11 guy as of today. As of today, what we are talking.
I think so, yeah. And I think when Eddie, I mean, he said in his interview, him and Eddie had an argument after the Carabao Cup. I think Eddie, listen, he's still for me one of the best man managers out there, but nobody's perfect. I think he could have managed that better. I think he could have managed Dubravka better. I would have kept Dubravka in, and I would not have brought in Ramsdale. If we thought it was a dead cert we were going to get Trafford, I can see why that's happened, but we haven't got Trafford. We brought in Ramsdale. I just don't think it was the best idea. So I think we probably need a keeper who can play with his feet. We need a couple of left backs, but I don't think that'll probably be next summer. We need a couple of full backs. And I'm yet to see what's going to happen with Johan Wissa.
Yeah,
Obviously, we might not need another striker if Johan Wissa comes good, but like I just think the door's open there. We can't really make any conclusions. I
yeah,
honestly think we'll probably finish between 6th and 8th this season if current trends continue. But I think we do have an opportunity in January to rocket up the league this season if we really want to. But again, managing a football club, it's not a one season thing.
yeah,
It's
no,
not a one
yeah,
game
hundred
thing. It's a
percent.
long term project. So if they want to hold out the summer, really reinvest and really make a bigger go of it, then fine by me.
So yeah, I would like to add 1 or 2 points specifically. Uh, let's say I would say for yesterday game, I think Eddie Howe when he showed up for the game, he was not going for the win. Before even the start of game, I was feeling he would be happy with the sharing points.
Well, yeah, and I think as well, like his lineup against Leverkusen kind of maybe showed that he probably didn't take this as important as maybe the rest of us. But
Yeah,
he played a really strong lineup against Leverkusen. But look, he's a cup-winning professional manager, and I'm not. Do you know what I mean?
yeah,
Like he's managing Champions League, Carabao Cup, and a derby in 1 week. For me, derby's everything, but that's why I'm a fan, and it's why I'm
yeah.
not a coach. And we'll see what happens on Wednesday because I still don't think the players acknowledge or understand just how severe that loss was, how much we feel it. And I don't think they understand how toxic the atmosphere might turn on Wednesday. And if they concede early on, oh, fuck me, they are in for a rude awakening.
Yeah, because yesterday all the Arsenal fan, or they just showed up for this game because it's happening after a decade, and they say have your armors, your shin pads ready. It's gonna get bloody, and it was nothing like that. It was nothing like that.
I mean, it was from Sunderland's point of view. They
Yeah,
threw in some big challenges, but also, I mean, like when you look at the referee that was announced, Peter Banks, he's very card heavy, and he probably I think we probably maybe assumed he'd be throwing them out a lot more than he was, and he didn't. And I think
yeah,
that kind of baffled us as well. And I think that was tough, man. I think it was tough because Sunderland were throwing in mad challenges. Arguably, a couple of them, I think maybe he could have been sent off on another day, but Peter let the game play, and we weren't expecting that. But they were bloody. They worked hard. They were every second ball, and I just don't think we were. I don't know if it was fatigue. I think it's a question of effort. I think that's probably excessive. I think it was tiredness from Wednesday. We were playing our fucking hearts out those last 15, 20, 25 minutes against Leverkusen. And as a result, we've lost for my money, especially if we don't get Europe. If we don't win the Carabao Cup again or the FA Cup, that is the biggest game of the season. And again, as I say, it won't be right till April.
yeah, 100%. And I hope we done better this time. And as per you were saying for the winter signings, I had there's a guy, I don't know if you saw him on YouTube. It's Antonio Mango. I think he's a local lad from Newcastle too, and he's a
Who?
scout. Antonio Mango.
I don't know. No, sorry.
So he's a under 23 scout too. So he keep on bringing the good players, and what he keep bring the players who would be ideal for Newcastle. And it's funny enough, all the players he's bringing out, they turn up really good, and they are being signed to other different teams. Just he brought a guy. It would be who could be an ideal left full back position, and just AC Milan signed him for a 2 million. That's all, and it was from Latin America. So we need those kind of players. This is why we set up the scout in Brazil, Ecuador, and because we would be bringing those signing for 2 to 3 millions and bringing good people as of now.
And this is what Geordies want to see as well. We want to Hatem Ben Arfa. We want to Alan Maximan. We want to see someone with a bit of skill, a bit of flair, someone who's going to excite us, get us off our seats. And I just don't think we really have that. The team don't have anyone who can change the game. We don't have anything that offers something different. Those wings are just the same.
Yeah.
Run very hard,
Yeah.
put the ball
Yeah.
in. That's it.
No
We don't seem to have
creativity in the
plan
team.
B. When Hall and Livermore are out, we don't have any plan B. There is no. We try to do the overlap thing with Dan Burn and Kieran Trippier, both of whom I love and I hold in the highest regard. But they're not the paciest, youngest players, are they? They're a bit old. They're a bit slow. We can't do the overlap thing with them. So we need a plan B when we don't have fullbacks available. We need some more flair players. We need backup fullbacks. We might need a backup striker. And I think we need better keepers. We need better keepers with their feet who are a bit more calm and confident on the ball and not distracted by people chanting as Ramsdale said he was.
Yeah, because the main thing, what you use, keep it better with the feet, because what happening with the new Nick Pope, right? He's terrible with feet, and when there's numbers are high from the opposition team in the box, he just get nervous.
Yeah, and don't even get me started on when he runs out of the box. Christ alive. I think I've lost about 10 years of my life just getting like heart palpitations when I watch him run out of the box. But we need someone who's a bit calmer back there. And I think maybe, honestly, like my opinions have changed based on that Dubravka interview. Based on what Dubravka said, I think Eddie Mebbys needs to get a little bit softer, a little bit harder, a little bit less empathetic. And I think he needs to deal with Mebbys' bigger egos better. But I think Dubravka should still be at this club. And I don't know how much did we pay for Ramsdale was a big loan fee, wasn't it?
No, it was a £5 million, £5 million. Yeah.
Is it a signing or is it a loan?
It's a loan. It's a loan.
It's a £5 million loan.
Yeah.
I how much did we sell Dubravka for?
Let me look for it right now. It was. And we are looking to make the permanent signing for Ramsdale. I don't know, it should go right. But the good thing is Trafford is sitting on the bench.
I don't think we should.
No.
I don't think he's not giving me anything that's made me go, we should never have sold Dubravka. That's how much did we sell him for, Burnley?
Martin Bravo sold Newcastle Burnley in August 2025. It was £5 million to £6 million.
So that's not good business for me.
No.
Keeping Dubravka would have been better business, I think.
For the same price, we brought the Ramsdale in just for a loan. It was
for 1 year. For 1 year only.
Yeah. So this is the thing. The business is not being nice. So it is a £4 million fee for the loan. Yeah. So
that's not good business.
And if we have to
4/5 of Dubravka's fee on a loan signing, I just don't think for a keeper that I don't think is the better number 2, in my personal opinion. And I'm no expert, but I just don't think that's good business.
And if we have to make a permanent signing, we have to pay £25 million.
That's not good business. That's not good business at all. We should never have let go of Dubravka.
And I think
Dubravka should have been starting ahead of Nick Pope.
I think this winter, the good thing is because Man City brought the Donnarumma in the net, so Trafford is sitting on the bench. But the thing is, I don't know how true it is. There's a news around there could be a swap, and of course Newcastle would get more money for Livermore and Trafford. It doesn't make a sense to me. You have to bring a Trafford, just bring the Trafford. There should not be no swap at all because we are already thin on the fullbacks. We don't have any fullbacks apart from Trippier, who's injured. This is all the fullbacks we have.
He's old as well. He's getting old. He's not getting any younger. He's Trippier.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Yeah, it's
bear with me a second to blow my nose.
Yeah, just no worries.
Back in a second. Sorry. But listen, Kanish, I think you can't stop the inevitable. So if City want to come in for Livramento, City are going to get him. They were able to build a squad and a club outside of the context of PSR. They are a treble-winning club. They are one of the biggest clubs in England now. If they want to pay 100 million for Livramento, we have to sell them and rebuild. And I think that's what the best clubs do. And I think Liverpool are a very good example of that. You know what I mean? They sold Coutinho, rebuilt into a squad-winning side, and keeping your best players. I don't think it's always, you have to be smart and you have to go against the fans' grain sometimes. I think over the past few years, if you're looking for perfection, we should have sold Trippier when the money came in to Bayern Munich, I think it was, with Harry Kane. I think we should have maybe sold Joe Linton I don't think we should have sold Anderson and Minter. It's about keeping those young, hungry upstarts.
Yeah.
And those players that really did you proud. There's no loyalty in this game anymore, unfortunately. It is what it is. But those players, when they get to the end of their career, they've done as much as they could for us. We've got to let them fly, bro. We've got to let them fly.
Yeah, Minte would have been a perfect guy as of today's, because we didn't need to bring Elanga in this summer if Minte would have been there.
Exactly. And I mean, there's nothing you can do there. I think that the intention was 100 million was going to come in for somebody and never did. And so we had to very quickly sell Anderson and Minter. But I think Anderson would have started over Joelinton this season. If Eddie saw it that way, but should probably be starting over him. And I think Minter definitely would be one of our starting wingers. And he's got that something different. You know what I mean? He's got that flair.
The flair, yeah. The flair, although he's from Africa, I think he's played for Gambia, but he has the flair like the Brazilian flair inside him.
Yeah. Absolutely. But I think we'll finish about 6th to 8th. I think we need to really make some signings in January and just shore up a lot of things going wrong.
Yeah, I think the guy I was talking to, he brought some guy. We could sign the free signing, but he plays for Celta Vigo. He showed up again. Good, the Oscar Mingueza.
Yeah, there's some Dutch wonder kid we're looking at from PSV
Eindhoven
as well.
Keith Smith. Mm-hmm. If we fail to sign him, we have the backup for him. Is the Hungarian wonder kid? His name is Alex Tolt. I don't know how would I say it. So
yeah, these are the sort of signings we should be looking at, but they don't always come good, Garan Kual seems to have not really come great. I don't know if we just sold it. Did we sell him this summer?
Yeah, who?
Garan Kual, the Australian player.
No, I don't think so. We sold because let me make it sure, but I think it was on the list because on the final day of the signings, I saw the player ins and out. I don't remember this kind of name. And also, let me tell you one thing. What was that? It could be so. We are looking for this guy, and also our scout has been visited to just.
No, I think we have sold him.
We sold him. Okay, I don't. Maybe I couldn't.
I think he plays for Sparta Prague now. Yeah, we sold him to. We sold him to Sparta. Yeah, an undisclosed fee. So he's not come good.
Okay.
This Vastan guy, he doesn't appear to have fully gone good. We were still yet to see the Spanish fella, the wonder kid who rejected Madrid for us. I think we do need to improve our loan system as well.
Loan system as well, because our loan signings, the guys
wasting careers.
They are not getting any minutes. They are not getting any minutes. So we are getting this time, I guess, in the winter, Osula wants to leave. I think if he wants to leave, let him go and
let him go to Frankfurt. Yeah, I mean,
we get let him go on the buyback clause, and we are getting 30 million euros. So it's a good price, I guess.
30 million euros for fucking Willisuda. Listen, he's made a few contributions. W in the chats because the vibes is iconic and will live long in the memories of all Toon fans. But I don't really know why we signed him to begin with. To be honest, I don't think again, just not the most efficient of signings. I think that there are better players out there who can contribute more, who can bring more off the bench. So let him go. I'm sure he'd love to start first team football. He's had a great time here. He leaves with nothing but Geordie fans' respect and love. He was a character for sure, but they were just better. And he kept, you always need a comedian in the squad. NASA said we always prefer comedians on our missions, not actual stand-up comedians like me, but somebody who's funny, emotionally intelligent, who can sort of calm down and
who can gel up the
players,
together,
bring people together. And Willisuda is great for that. But there are enough players in our squad who can do that. There are enough good characters, and that's Eddie's thing. He always looks for good characters, but we also need skilled players. And he's one of them that he runs. He tries really hard, but he just
Yeah,
does not have that
yeah,
real technical gift we're looking for.
yeah. His running style looks like a bit of. I know it would be a little unfair. Like when he runs, maybe it resembles a bit like a Mbappe, but that's a different thing, right?
Yeah,
But
I'm not quite sure I'd compare Willisula and
no, no,
Mbappe.
I'm not saying that the running
Unless
signs
Dan
are.
Burn has
Yeah.
Willisula in his pockets at training. Like he did in that PSG game 4-1. But no, he just runs around a bit. Like a lot of our players, I think they run around like headless chickens.
Yeah. So I think it would be a nice business if we sell him for 30 million euros. That would be nice because the same thing, we had the money coming in good for the Trippier. We could have let him go. The same for the Joe Linton. So this time we should not make the mistake because we sold Dubravka at 5 and brought the loan signing at 4. Doesn't make a sense. So the business are not being nice. The only nice business we did this summer is Isak, 150 million. That's all.
Yeah.
So yeah, that paid us Nick Voltamara and Visa. Only nice thing, I would be more happy if Visa would be a 2 to 3 youngers more because he's not getting younger any day. He's 29-year-old striker,
Mm-hmm.
turning 30 soon.
But we needed in post Isaac. We needed someone who matched Isaac's profile. And Walter, as good as he is, doesn't match Isaac's profile. It's a different style of football. I would love to see them two play off each other.
Yeah, but
I'd love to see
anyhow,
Walter hold up and like set up Wissa. But I don't think we'll do that because the amount of games
yeah,
we play requires somebody to rest. But that's why, again, I think well, then from there we do need another striker.
yeah.
I'd love to see them two play off each other and then bring somebody else in.
Yeah, because Eddie Howe just made it clear we don't play like that. So he would not be playing them together any day soon, I guess. Because he said we don't play like that. So this is the thing which I am little reluctant to see. Like I don't want to see that. He's a good man, the good manager. He achieved really good enough, but sometimes he's too rigid enough on his decisions.
Yeah, it's like the problem with Amorim at Man United. You know what I mean? Like if you have a system, fine, but like sometimes if you have the players in you at your disposal that don't match that system, change the system, just adjust. And yeah, I think you've seen that with when we don't have Tino and we don't have Hall and we have Trippier and we have Burn, we're still going with this overlapping fullback thing, and it's like that doesn't work with pensioners, with all the respect in the world.
Yeah, especially Dan Burn on the left and the Joe Linton the same side. It slows down, no dynamism at all. It slows down the
Yeah,
whole line.
absolutely, bro. You nailed it there. And I don't hold it against the players at all. They're playing in positions they don't want to play in and they aren't ready for. And it led to Tyne getting the first red card of his career. But
Mm.
that's not where they should be playing. We should either have backup fullbacks or we should be having different systems. And different systems, like people will eventually, like they did with Pardew, like after the season we finished with, people will eventually catch up with your system. They'll know how to play against you.
Yeah,
So you
yeah.
have to have different systems for the element of surprise.
Yeah. Keep on evolving. So I don't know if you have watched cricket in your life a bit because cricket is not a new thing in England. So what
Yeah.
made the Sachin
I
Tendulkar
am still
great?
Indian, bro. I have watched cricket.
Yeah. So what made a Sachin Tendulkar a great batsman or greatest player in the cricket history? Because every time he has something new under his sleeve. So bowlers come with a new plan. He comes with something. So bowlers try to track him down, or they say, "Oh, this is what he's trying." So he tries to change the system and bring something new under his skin. So that is why he keep on evolving day by day, and he has career for more than 20 years and turned up to be the greatest cricketer player on earth as of today.
And if Eddie and Jason want to be elite, they've got to evolve, bro. They've got to evolve.
Yeah,
They're great managers, but if they want to get into that Pep Guardiola, that Fergie bracket, they've got to evolve and they've got to break their sacred cows. That's what any elite person in any elite field does.
yeah. So as of now, the 100% we think we need for me the first signing should be our fullbacks because the moment I always see there's a tackle on Luis Hall, I'm scared. Okay, are we playing Dan Burn again on the left, right, the left?
I think it's fullbacks, striker, keeper for me is I think one of the most important. Keeper who can play out from his feet, who can give us that extra. You need an extra player on the ball.
Yeah,
It's 11-a-side game. The keeper counts so much. And maybe it's one centre back. I think in the centre midfield, and we'll probably need some more flary wingers.
yeah. So we are looking at the Porto signing. I hope the thing is the same thing what I said in a half an hour before. So it's also the recruitment, but we had vision for the recruitment, but we have been backstabbed again and again with the bigger clubs, right? So you have to find a way around and go poach those players. You cannot make an
Uh,
excuse, oh, we are trying. We have to find a way out of that. So we are looking for a Samu. I don't know how you say it, Samu, Samu or Samu. He plays for Porto in Liga Portugal, number one, the top flight in Porto. So we had our scouts him. He's a wonderful striker and could have a really great potential.
that'd be great. That would be absolutely great. But we'll see. We'll see what happens. You can scout all you want. Some get really good. Some don't.
Yeah. So I don't. I think it's a really lovely chat. If you have want to something because this for me this was a more of the. I know we didn't talk much about yesterday game because you turn
Don't
the
want to
spell.
talk about it. Don't want to reflect
Yeah,
on that bullshit.
yeah. So yeah, because this is a thing that we summed up in a really first few minutes. So and we talked good enough about the city, and so it was a really nice and lovely chat, and would like to connect more and more if whenever time shows up. And yeah, thank you so much, and I hope next summer I turn up after World Cup. I get a chance to visit St James Park, Cathedral on the Hill. That's how you say, right?
Yeah, the cathedral on the hill, St James's Park. You let me
Right.
know. I'll take care of you when you come here. I think only one final thing. Really looking ahead to Wednesday. What do you think, score prediction wise?
Uh, I think because this is what I was about to say. The one thing I would like to add, I think Eddie Howe is not taking the Premier League as that serious. I think he's eyeing again to defend the
Carabao Cup
cup,
again.
defend the cup, and make a
Mm.
long run in Champions League. So he might bring the pull. So we go advanced stages of Champions League. So I think I don't know this because this is what I saw because we are really great in the Champions League. Okay, the last game doesn't say that good enough about that, but we are getting better in Champions League. But at the same time, we are not looking confident in the Premier League. So I think he's eyeing more to advance more positions in the Champions League and defend the Carabao Cup. I don't know what you have to say about that.
Yeah, I think you're correct. I think that is what he is going for. I think that's what he's taking more seriously. But he knows if we're going to be an elite club and if we've got to get Champions League every season, so he knows that's a priority as well. But it's a long season. We'll see what happens. I think you feel a strong team. I think they have to bounce back. If they lose on Wednesday, it's going to be toxic, bro. It's going to be real toxic. They have to
Yeah,
bounce back from this. So I'm going to say 3-0 win for Newcastle.
yeah.
Maybe 3-1
The
because we all
the
want to leak something.
the Fulham is the team this year, especially. You cannot try to understand what they are going through. They are really unpredictable this year. Like,
Yeah,
and
real hit or miss.
with a real mess. And I would not lie. The win against Fulham and St James Park, we didn't play that good. It was a Gimarish who saved us that day in the
Yeah,
90 minute.
absolutely.
Fulham was better team on that day at St James Park. We were not nice at all. This is my observation. What I felt, I could be wrong, but I felt that Gimarish just saved us. But it was not a really nice performance against Fulham. So
It
I
wasn't
hope
at
we.
all. It wasn't. So I think they could really give us. And they've. When did they play this weekend? Was it Saturday or Sunday?
They just played. I think they played a Saturday. Let me check. What was the score? I think they got a win out, right?
Yeah. So they've got extra rest.
Yeah.
So I
So
think
they
that
play.
could be
They play
good. And
Saturday, and they
I
were
think
playing
with
against
how
Burnley, and they won the.
hostile, I think with how negative the atmosphere might be, how toxic it might be post derby. I think they could surprise us, but I do still think we're going to bounce back. Ever the optimist. I'm going to say 3-1 Newcastle still.
Yeah, I hope. I would say, and because how the we turn up against the Tottenham, that was a different thing, right? How the way we eliminate out, it was a really clinical win. Where like you feel like that was this is apart from the Everton game, I feel like that was one of the games of this season, like which was a really nice game. Shah coming in, putting a header in, Voltamara, everything, everybody just showed up good, and Will Osula had a nice game too that day, and the
Yes, yeah,
Carabao
yeah,
Cup.
yeah, yeah,
Osula had a nice
yeah.
game too. So yeah, thank you
Yeah.
so much. You have. I hope Monday Blues doesn't hit you much. I think it's already a good evening there.
It's all right. It's my first day off work, so I'm
Yeah,
okay. I can actually, I mean, apart from the drive, I can relax. I haven't got too much to focus on, whereas the past few days have been very, very busy. So yeah,
busy. So
happy with.
you are right now in the Manchester, right?
Yes, and after this conversation, I'm going to just do a little bit of admin, have some food, have a coffee, and then I'm going to get straight on the road and head back to Newcastle. Head back to God's country.
So sorry. Hello.
So I'm going to head back to God's country.
Oh, God's country. Okay. Okay. Yeah. I hope we keep on connecting better, more, and I hope that this had you feel wonderful at the this podcast, or you can say the stream, whatever. Because it was kind of a friendly chat. It was not kind of professional, but this is what I was expecting. I hope you feel better this way, and I made you comfortable enough. And
Yeah, no, you did. I am not a very professional man at all, so this was perfect for me. I look forward to connecting in future.
yeah, 100%. And good day and good weekend. And hope we turn up better with a smile this weekend against Chelsea and this Wednesday, of course.
And on Wednesday, let's get through Wednesday first. Cheers, Kanish. I'll see you up the mags, and let's hope for a winner Wednesday.
Yeah, and just a moment. Thank you so much, and please like the stream and subscribe the channel, and please go and follow Raul Kohli comic on Instagram, and it's
Oh,
already pinned
TikTok.
up, or TikTok, yeah. Because to be honest, I don't use TikTok, so I don't know much about TikTok. So yeah, but 100% go and follow him and watch his work. And yeah, the best thing I would, if you want to say, recommend this, go and watch his. Is it a full video somewhere on the internet, or is just that reel? The
Yeah, I've got hour-long videos, specials on my YouTube. I've got 20-minute sets. I've got shorts, all sorts of stuff. So just have a look at my YouTube, have a look at my Instagram. You'll find
yeah,
enough of my content out there, and figure out if you like it or not.
yeah, I would just pin down in the comments after the stream ends the link for the raw and yeah, thank you so much for all the guys who tuned in, and it was a really nice chat. And yeah, up the tunes.
Up their tunes. Come on, the tunes, as Rafa once said.